Morning guys, welcome back to Our Vision Farm. To get animal chores done this morning. Need some food, Sasha? So over the weekend, we had one family pick up the 3 sheep that they had reserved from us, which was the Ram, Cookie, which was our white sheep that had like the black spots on her, the black and brown spots, and then they also bought Snow White, which was the full white sheep. So those 3 are gone. Let me go back here. So now we're just waiting for the sanctuary that's supposed to be taking Peanut. They had agreed to take Chloe, our senior sheep, plus Chloe's baby and the other extra sheep that we have. Well, I'm not sure if they 100% agreed on it. I have to contact them because it's been a while since I talked to them, but it sounded like they had agreed on taking our pig and the sheep. So as you can see, the Ram is gone and just have the 3 sheep left here. So I'm gonna have to contact them soon just to see what's going on, but they're supposed to take Peanut and the rest of our sheep. If that doesn't work out, I'm really not sure what to do with Peanut, but I think the sheep, I could try my hand at selling them again, posting them up on the different sites. So the people that took the sheep, they bought halters. So I had Cookie and Snow White separated, and they bought halters that I slipped on them, and we carried them, not carried them, but walked them to the animal trailer that they had. The Ram was a little bit harder to get out of there. We tried to put a halter on him, but it slipped off. So my husband ended up just grabbing the whole entire Ram and carrying him all the way to the animal trailer. So that was funny to watch, but we got them all locked up in there, and they brought them home to the enclosure that they had built for them. And they'll be breeding that trio as well. Snow White might already be bred for them, but I told them to just watch for signs of, if the Ram doesn't seem interested in Snow White, most likely she was already bred. So, and he was definitely showing signs of being interested in Cookie, because Cookie has been in heat and has not been bred. So they'll figure that out and they'll start breeding them if they are not bred already. So that's all we have left back there. For the meat chickens, everything up here is still the same. My daughter's feeding the chickens over there, the white Plymouth Rocks. The meat chickens we split up into the 2 hoop houses. That was long overdue. So now that we split them up in half, they just have a little bit more space to roam around. Their area is staying a little bit cleaner for just a little bit longer. This is already pretty much due for another move because they just like to hang around so much where the food dishes are. But we're finding that we fill one feeder. I don't know what size this feeder is, but we fill that one feeder, and look, they still have a little bit of food left in there. That's lasting them a whole day between them being split up like this, and then they each have 3 waters in the containers. Those they are going through a little bit faster. Like I have to refill those all this morning, but surprisingly they still have a little bit of food left. But they're getting big, and these are all supposed to be male Cornish cross, so they're definitely looking a lot bigger and plumper than usual. Usually the females would be a lot smaller. But that is what happened over the weekend. Today is Tuesday, so back to the schedule, back to just a regular routine. I'm going to be homeschooling with the kids and working on Christmas orders, I'm actually going to start making cookie doughs for our assorted Christmas cookies. I'm just going to try to get ahead by making cookie doughs and freezing them. So I'm not going to be baking yet, but at least I'll have my doughs ready in the freezer. So just wanted to give you guys an update. Those sheep have been picked up and they are gone and settled into their new farm. We split up the meat chickens, which makes our life a little bit easier, because when they were all clustered into one hoop house, it was just way too messy and we had to keep moving them constantly. I'm hoping that this sanctuary contacts us soon, because they did say that they had a turnaround time of 2 to 4 weeks for, like, it's the first time that they're ever gonna have sheep in general, and they needed to get like some enclosures ready. They already have pigs in the sanctuary, so they have pig area set up, and they said when I contacted them about Peanut, they said they had just finished working on, I think, expanding their pig area. So I know they're definitely ready for the pigs, but maybe it's taking them a little bit longer to get ready for the sheep. And I feel weird about like messaging them because they're doing us a favor by taking our animals. And I don't want to feel like I am rushing them because we're really not in a rush to get rid of the animals. But we do want to plan a winter trip to the state that we're looking into moving. So it'll be easier if we have less animals here for whoever is coming to farm sit. I would like for them to just have to feed the dogs and the cats and the couple of chickens that we do have. I don't want them to worry about feeding sheep and feeding meat birds and all of that. I want to leave them the least work as possible. But in general, like, I told them that there was really no rush because we're not going to be moving right away. We don't have like a time limit where the animals need to be gone by, but it's nice to know that they will have a home to go to. But hopefully they do contact us soon, because I think we're planning a trip for January to go visit the state. We thought about February originally, and I kind of changed my mind. I think January would be a better month. It's sooner for one, and then it's not like so deep into the middle of winter. So I think we'd have better luck in January avoiding like really bad weather. So far I've been keeping track of the state that we're looking into, keeping track of their weather. They've gotten a couple snows so far, so we're in like heading towards the mid-December. They've gotten maybe 3 snows, so it's not really as bad. Supposedly that's actually not normal for this state. It usually snows way sooner than that, or a lot more. But I do definitely want to visit while it's snowing. One, because the kids will be coming with us on this particular trip. I want the kids to experience snow again. The kids have only seen snow one time when we went to Tennessee for our Christmas trip one year. But it wasn't really like real snow. We had to hike to a mountain to even see the snow. There was no actual snow on the ground in Tennessee around that time of the year during Christmas time. So with this state, there should be definitely snow, hopefully. Plus we want to see like how cold it is and just how it's going to be to drive in that. Me and my husband don't really have a lot of experience driving in the snow, so that's going to be something new to experience. Here comes Turbo. He likes to drink water out of the chicken waters when I'm filling them. So yeah, that's what we're planning on, January. If worst case scenario, we'll visit in February, but I'm kind of leaning towards January instead of February. So that is in the works. So I really like to downsize as many animals as possible before our trip. So that way, like I said, whoever's watching our farm only has to feed the couple of chickens that we do have, Turbo the duck here, and just like a handful of animals instead of having all of them to worry about. So hopefully the sanctuary contacts me soon. If not, I'll be contacting them. But I don't know, I'm not the type of person to keep bothering them. I know they're busy, they have all sorts of animals. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but the sanctuary that's supposed to be taking Peanut and these leftover sheep is the same one that took our 2 mini ponies that we used to have, Pepper and Rita. It was 2 black colored mini ponies. They were senior ponies and they were given to us by a local farm. They just updated me when I contacted them about Peanut the pig and the sheep. They updated me that Pepper the pony had passed away very recently, so that was pretty sad, but I know that she was taken care of until the last day. And she had a lot of health problems when we got rid of her. It's when we were originally downsizing because we were low on money and we just could not upkeep their care. I think my husband was going through a job change or looking for a job at that time, so we decided to rehome the ponies and the donkey that we had back then. But Pepper, her health was really declining while we had her, and like some people made me feel like it was my fault, but it just didn't make sense because we were doing everything we were supposed to. We were feeding them hay, we were feeding them food. She was getting her farrier visits and all of that, but despite all of that, her health just kept declining. She was losing weight. She had feet problems. She was dealing with thrush in her hooves. She had previously, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called when their hooves were not maintained. Like a couple years back before she was rescued from whatever place she came from, they weren't getting her feet done. So her hooves had gotten overgrown. So she's had feet problems ever since that and just never fully recovered. I was still getting her regular 6-week farrier trimmings done, but she always had feet problem. And then just in general, her health was really declining. Nothing we did would fix it. It wasn't because we were like malnourishing her, because we had Rita, which was the same exact age as Pepper, but Rita was perfectly thriving. She was like, there was nothing wrong with her. So I knew that it was not my fault that her health was declining. It was just her time. She was naturally declining, and the rescue that she went to knows a lot about horses and tried to get her vet care and special shoes for her feet. And I know that she was in the best care possible, so they know a lot about horses. They actually have other horses, not just mini ponies. And despite all of that, she still ended up passing away this year. So she lasted about a year with them, and I'm kind of relieved that that happened under their care, because I might not have been able to afford the care that she needed towards the end. Plus my kids would have been heartbroken, and just would not have been a good scenario for us having to have that mini pony when on her last days, on her last months of life. But I was so happy to be able to find that home for her, and they took care of her until the end. Rita is still there, still kicking. She's still alive. So yeah, and this rescue has been an amazing blessing to a lot of other people that I know. They've taken in some other donkeys from my neighbor's friend. They've taken all of my neighbors, not my neighbor, but a couple houses down from us. She had to get rid of all her animals, goats, pigs, and everything that she had at one point, and they took in all her pigs. So they have been just like a blessing to a lot of people, and just have welcomed any of the animals with open arms, no questions asked. So hopefully Peanut the pig does get to go over there, and the sheep. The sheep aren't so much of a big deal because I can easily find them a different home, but I'd rather them go to them if at all possible. And so I'm just waiting to hear back from them. Hopefully they reach out soon. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But that is all that I have for today. That's all that happened through the weekend. So just wanted to keep you guys updated as we continue to downsize. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I gotta clean my camera apparently. I have a little spot there. So I'm gonna finish filling up these chicken waters for the meat chickens, and then get inside and get started on homeschool with the kids. What do you want to say, Turbo? Alright guys, see you guys in the next video.